Hello loves, my name is Kelsey Dawn and this is day 17 of my 30-day challenge Nurtured by Nature. Each day I'm spending 1 hour a day in nature for 30 days. I'm doing this video inside today because it is quite windy out there and off and on rainy, so it's just easier to do it in here and I can be cozy and warm in the in-between. So what I want to share with you today is something that can be quite fearful. I had to go for a mammogram today. A few weeks ago I found a lump in my right breast and my doctor signed me up to get a mammogram and an ultrasound. And until today, really, I kind of just put it out of my mind because I didn't really know what to expect. I had so much other stuff going on. I just kind of put it in a little box in somewhere hidden in my brain until today. And then today, because it was the day, I knew I was going in to see what this lump in my breast actually was. Fear really began to rise in me. And before I could go to the exam, I had to teach a yoga class. And I was feeling fearful and scattered and really, had stuff coming up because what is this? This is like another health scare, and I've been having to go through many health concerns throughout my life, and I've come through the other side and always made it through 100% days so far. I'm still here doing awesome, but still scary, right? We don't know what it is. I don't know what it is yet. So that fear started to rise. And so to kind of dissolve that, before I started my class, I shared with the women there how I was going in for a mammogram and that I wanted to make sure I finish the class right on time and we can get out swiftly so I can make it to my appointment on time. And that alone was the first step, best step I could have done for myself today, because those women were so nurturing and one of them was so supportive. She had lots of great supportive suggestions and perspectives, and I just felt really held in love and support. And because of that, I was able to dissolve any anxiousness before class and dive into the practice, sharing the practice. And then it was driving to the hospital to get these tests done. Of course, the fear really starts to rise as you get closer and closer, and then you're in the waiting room, and then you're waiting there, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And it happens. The mind begins to run. It begins to run with it, with the fear, and all of these what ifs could come up, and all of that sort of thing. So I really tuned in with just practicing breathing. And then my name was called to go in, and the women there were so sweet and nurturing and supportive. Their tone of voice, so calming, and just even the way that they had to handle my breasts and my body to do the different exams was done with respect and honor. And I feel so grateful for those women for doing their job so well and really taking care of us women as we go in there to get these tests that are quite scary. They're scary. And so finished the mammogram. I had to wait to get into do the ultrasound. So then, the pause in between, I was noticing the not useful thoughts coming up again. And the third thing I really noticed was how my practices of discernment were really supporting me in this situation, because I was really beginning to witness what thoughts were not useful and were making my worry and fear grow, rather than dissolving it with comforting self-talk and self-love. And worrying wasn't going to get me anywhere because I didn't know the results of anything. It was reminding myself to wait for the results and then take the next step from there. So just living in the present, staying moment to moment, and coming back to my breath. So when I was in the ultrasound room, the woman there said to me that she would come back with the results from the professional who looks at all the scans and let me know if I would need a biopsy or not. And she says if you don't need a biopsy, then that's really good news, most likely, and then we can go from there. So of course, waiting like probably was like only 5 minutes maybe, felt like forever. But when she came back, she told me it was a cyst. Seriously, I was like, oh, right. It took such a load off. She came in with really high spirits and saying that she offered up to me that it was a cyst, could take basically all the pressure off, that I didn't really need to wait for my doctor's response, that it was a cyst and everything was going to be all right. So instead of having to wait for my doctors, I knew almost immediately what she was going to say. And I will still check in with my doctor and go over all of the scans and find out more about my breast tissue and what I can do for preventative measures and moving into my 40s, what I need to do when I get there, all the steps to take. It's just really good to have that clear communication open and ready already, so you have that prepared for yourself. So that felt really good. So then I came home and I researched cysts, because what is a cyst, right? It's a fluid-like sac that builds up in the body, and it can happen in any part of the body. And if it becomes uncomfortable and you're feeling a lot of discomfort, they can actually drain it by putting a thin needle in there and draining it if it is bothersome for you and it doesn't go away on its own. But when doing my research, I learned that it's very rare that cysts become cancerous, and they are benign most often. So that was also on top of the cake, the top icing, the cherry on top, that everything is going to be all right. Everything is all right. I know I can face it through everything. I've made it through 100% of days so far, but still, it gets scary out there. So yeah. If you want more information on cysts, you can go to breastcancer.org about cysts, and it has a whole page right up all about it there, and lots of really great information on the website as well if you are ever concerned. And if you feel like you just need to talk to somebody because you're going through a health scare or anything like that right now, contact me. I would love to be there in support of you. I know sometimes it can feel really scary and we can feel alone, but you're not alone. You're never alone. Okay? Thank you. And if you find value in my videos, please share them with a friend or someone you've thought of through this video, or community, a group, wherever. I appreciate it so much. And if you do want to work with me one-on-one, you can find me at kelseydawn.ca. All right, I'll see you all for day 18 tomorrow. Peace and much love. Rise and shine.